All right, YouTube viewers, welcome to Stringer's Ridge in Chattanooga, Tennessee. This is a mountain bike trail. It's a multi-use trail, goes bi-directional on Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. It goes counterclockwise Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. It goes clockwise for bikers and opposite that for walkers. This is my trail. It's basically about a mile from my house, so I'm able to ride from my house into the trail. You do have to compete with head-on traffic if they're paying attention to the rule. And the most important thing that I commonly run into is unleashed dogs who try and bite me. That just happened yesterday. Shout out to the people who own the Irish Setter. That being said, I bought an e-bike specifically for this place. There's about 700 feet of elevation over the 3-mile loop. I do about 5 laps, so I get a little bit more than 3,300 to 3,500 feet of elevation. That being said, the Yamaha Moro 7 has been absolutely fantastic. Thank you, Yamaha. I do love this thing. I'm rocking some Maxxis tires, the DHF in the front and the Recon on the back. I got kind of an oversized setup with 2.8s front and rear. The last couple days it's been muddy because the ground is thawing, but today it's like 70 degrees. This is the west and north, so just to that side is Signal Mountain and Walden's Ridge, and over there is Raccoon Mountain. As we come along to the south and west side, we'll run into Lookout Mountain, and then due south of us is the city of Chattanooga, which we will run into from time to time. Yesterday, Brad Williams came up here and said, "Hey, you ride this trail a lot. Have you ever GoPro'd it?" And it dawned on me, I have about 1,250 miles in this trail, and I have never GoPro'd this trail. So that being said, I threw on the GoPro today on the Chesty that my wife bought. Shout out to KML. And we're going to take a lap. This is actually going to be my 4th lap in here today. We are going to start going down Double J. It's my favorite start because it is downhill and it has jumps. So without further ado, we are off. I do manage my battery so I don't use it on the downhill sections, just so that I can get 5 laps out of it. If I concentrate, I can get 6. My brakes will always give me away because they squeak at the moment. I did put on new pads. Shout out to Mike at Suck Creek for helping me with the bike. It's my favorite jump in the whole trail right here. It's not really a jump, but I make it. Playing off a lot of that and then hard on these brakes. Momentum is everything in this place. Little uphill with no battery. Just use my momentum. We're coming up on the intersection of Double J and the White Oak Connector. If we go right, that will take us to White Oak Trail and Park and an apartment complex. Double J makes a hairpin and goes uphill in this section. It is easy to miss his turn on the Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday lap because you're blowing down this hill and that hairpin comes up very quickly. This is probably the warmest day we've had in a long time. It's been very cold, sometimes high in the 20s. Today, I wouldn't be surprised if it's 70. But we are expecting some rain overnight, and this place is not a fun place to be in the rain. especially on this north and west side. Just doesn't get the sun in the winter, and it does not drain awesome. So spots like right here stay very slick. How's it going, man? I have passed him like 3 times now, I think. Killing the battery for the downhill section. I have 5 power modes. I only use mode 2. Now, today I'm not ripping through here because, well, quite frankly, I'm tired. This is my 4th time in here this week, and I think I'm somewhere near a total of 82 miles at the moment. Not uncommon for me to knock back 100 in here in a 7-day period. But there are some sections that are fun and downhill, and I use gravity. I don't consider myself a downhill mountain biker in any way, shape, or form. I'm more of a cross-country guy. But when gravity is providing assistance, I figure I at least have brakes. We did have a fire in here in the spring of 25, and you can see a lot of charred timber. It really cleared out a lot of the underbrush. That and the fact that it's February and the leaves are off the trees and on the ground provide you wonderful visibility and potential stopping issues. So my Florida peeps, this is probably 100-foot drop to my right. Very steep. If you go off, you're not going to stop tumbling down that. So you certainly have to be careful on these Tennessee trails. You don't want to get your front tire too close to the edge, for sure. Factory battery management. The battery's off. There are some blind corners, and I call out. Corner, corner, corner. Oh, sorry, folks. Thank you. I'm alone. All right, that completes the Double J portion of the ride. We're going to jump in here to Gig City. Chattanooga calls itself Gig City. They were the first one to bring really high-speed internet to the masses. Everybody here has at least a gig of download speed in their homes. And I will say that the internet here is pretty good. For those of you that know, I'm moving to Montrose, Colorado in 7 days. I've ridden this trail the most, which is why I'm filming it right now. Thanks to B-Dub for suggesting I do such things. All right. Battery management, so I'm killing the battery. Corner, corner, corner. Momentum is your best friend when you don't have pedal assist. So over here to my right, I don't know if you can see it, is Lookout Mountain. I'll slow down. Lookout Mountain, the Tennessee River. Very historical area here in regards to the Civil War era of the United States. Oh, hello, puppy. Thank you. It's like the 7th person I've seen signed to a dog on leash all over the place. But apparently, rules don't apply to everyone. This is a narrow part of the trail. Always gets me a little sketch because if you're walking and a bike's coming down. So I always announce, coming down and coming out, coming down, little air, pump, 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 pump. You got the idea. All right, B-Dub, this is where we were yesterday. Matter of fact, we're standing right here on this log, looking down that hill. And here's that hairpin we were talking about. One of my favorite parts of the trail if I can get it clean. The tightest part of the S-turns of the trail are right here. Body English is super important. Try not to skid, but it doesn't always work. That's not bad. Folks, welcome to Hill City. You want to know why they call it Hill City? I'll give you one guess. That's right, there's hills, and they go both ways, up and down. Being that this is my 4th lap and I'm on par to do 5, I'm just going to casually climb this hill, not trying to kill it here. Boy. Okay. Again, tomorrow if I come in here, I'll be coming the opposite way. Lots of uphills here. There are 3 big ones. This is the 2nd of them. This one is very fun to come down. Usually doing somewhere around 25 miles an hour right through here. Some of the corners are blind, So you got to be very careful about walkers, especially the ones that don't have any situational awareness. And most importantly, as you just figured out, loose dogs. Okay. Killing the power for a minute because we've got a nice little downhill section just for a moment. Back on the power just for a second, and then off the power again. That's it. The power just helps keep momentum. Scrubbing momentum in here with these hills is damning. All right. Super fun little downhill section here. I always like it, but it's very tight. Some blind corners. I always want to look out ahead for walkers, as I stated earlier. Back onto the power. And this is kind of the last of the big uphills in Hill City. I will say it is quite appropriately named. Now, there may be 4 uphills in Hill City if you count the Spears Ave entrance. And I guess technically that is Hill City. So, excuse me. Oh. I can hear my drivetrain is in dire need of some lubrication. It didn't last long with the dust in here. And below me is the Spears Ave parking lot. And we're about to join the Spears Ave trailhead here. There are people to my left. Yeah. You're fine, thank you. So I guess technically I call this the Spears Ave access, but in theory, this is still Hill City. So So maybe this is the fourth climb. You're not getting to or from any of the areas without coming up or down this section. And you don't necessarily have to do the other trail I just popped out of, so. Getting to the top. Take me to the top. All right, killing the power. Gonna take a break. Thanks, folks. That's a lap.